Aloha, my name is Dean Wilhelm, and together with my wife Michelle, we are the co-executive directors of the nonprofit organization Hoʻokuaʻaina, which we founded back in 2011. We have a farm. It's on 7.5 acres, and 3 of those acres roughly are in lo'i kalo. And so we kind of like to say that through the growing of kalo, we grow young people and community. So I'm an educator by trade. I taught in the DOE system for 13 years, nearly 15 years, and 11 of those years I taught what would be termed at-risk, challenged youth. I taught at Olomana School. The last 5 years with Olomana School, I serviced the incarcerated boys at the Hawaii Youth Correctional Facility. In the DOE, there was this acronym called the 3 R's, which stood for rigor, relevance, and relationship. And I thought, wow, those are all really good things, you know. But in my mind, it should go the complete opposite way. It should be relationships, relevance, rigor. So when, again, those connections take place, when there's pilina and people realize that they're a part of a larger thing, yeah, then there becomes relevance to what you're doing. Yeah. And then when there's that understanding that I have a role to play and it's relevant to me, then that's when students or people start to delve in. And that's when the rigor can really take place, in this case in education and learning. So that's kind of our mindset here, that you need to develop pilina, which means that when people come, you want them to feel welcome, to feel that they are accepted, that they belong, and to feel that they're valued in the sense that we want to get to know who you are, how you're doing, and make these connections, these very basic human connections that are so important to us to experience regularly. Yeah? And that once these connections are made and they feel comfortable, then our mindset is that it's through the doing that one learns. There's a Hawaiian olelo noeau, makahana ka'ike, that you know, learning comes experientially, as they say in the education realms. Yeah, and so that's kind of our mode here. But it's through the growing of kalo and the lessons that come with it. Yeah, the hard work, being uncomfortable, pushing through that. Working for a desired goal, whether individually or as a collective. Those are all the types of life skills and values that people can apply to anywhere in life. And those are kind of the underlying things that all employers are looking for, or all successful organizations need in order to thrive. And so we try to impart that into the teaching. And so it's not necessarily, we're not trying to make taro farmers out of everybody here by any means. We are trying to build, again, individual first, which really starts by valuing oneself. And it's amazing how, while I've worked with at-risk kids in our prison system, I've also worked with kids from very affluent schools, from affluent backgrounds, and I've come to the conclusion that, when it comes down to it, we're all kind of at risk, and we all need each other to kind of help us as we journey through life. Chances are they're not going to really remember what you taught them, but they are going to remember how you made them feel. Yeah. And so that is key to anybody who comes here. How do we make them feel when they walk away? Do they feel better about themselves? Do they feel like they've learned something? Do they feel like they've grown and that they were accepted and loved and cared for maybe just a brief moment in their lives? Maybe they've come from troubled backgrounds and this is the best behaved they've been because of the environment, perhaps. Yeah. They're displaying their best, perhaps, or maybe their worst, and that's okay. Either way, it's I think simple, core human needs that we try to facilitate, so that people feel ultimately good when they walk away about themselves, and that's just the starting point. And then from there, once you build trust, and so there's those who have been here for a few years or they're in a capacity of a paid internship, well, then the game gets ratcheted up a little more. Now we're going to hold you accountable. Now we're going to maybe challenge you. Maybe we're going to call you out on some things that need to be done and haven't been doing. But that can only take place once they know that they're loved and that they're accepted and that we value them and that we see promise and hope in their lives. And that takes time.